Dr. Brian King makes a living primarily as a motivational speaker. But a funny thing happened on his way to making presentations to medical companies. He went from being a neuroscientist to a stand-up comedian to an author. I spoke with him recently about his journey and his second book, The Art of Taking It Easy.
It's a weird transition, actually. I became a neuroscientist because I felt like I needed a backup job or a backup degree if my plans to become a successful comedian didn't work out. So actually getting a PhD was my fallback plan. I wanted to be a comedian first, but I didn't start comedy until I safely had my doctorate and I had worked a few years, and then I said, okay, now it's about time to start being a comedian. And after a few years of doing stand-up comedy, I sort of merged the two, and I became sort of like the funny psychologist, and I would do these seminars that would attract people because not only was I giving information, but I was making it entertaining, and amusing for people, and that really resonated, and so that became, the next stage of my career. So The Art of Taking It Easy is my approach to how to handle stress. It's all about stress management. I've been touring the country for years, telling people how to be happy, how to manage stress, and really connecting with people on many levels. And so I decided to take a lot of what I offer and write it down so that I can, preserve it, share it with a wider audience. I'm a psychologist, and I have some training and I have some knowledge and some expertise, and that's definitely in the book. But it's also stories, jokes, humor, examples of how to live a stress-free life, examples of how to handle things, and all that comes from my life on the road as a performer, as a comedian, doing the things that I do. And so it's a nice mix of both. People who want information should look at a textbook. Like, it's not a textbook, but it has lots of information. And that information is sprinkled and colored and with anecdotes and stories and all kinds of good stuff that I throw in there. It's been great. I don't know why I didn't start comedy sooner. I should have started comedy and then got the PhD, but I went and got this education first, and it just kind of delayed my progress as a comedian. I absolutely love it. I really do. It's a good time.
Being a neuroscientist is a backup career.
Yeah, certainly not the traditional career path. Something interesting about Dr. King, though, he and his family, wife and young child, are basically nomads. They live where he performs and does his presentations.
Wow.
He sold his house years ago.
Okay.
And when the travel schedule got to be full enough, he just, when he travels for work, he lives in a hotel or a short-term rental there. And when he doesn't have work lined up, he rents a place and goes on vacation.
Wow. Talk about that. That's
just
great.
A fascinating lifestyle.
It's really interesting. Good for him. That's great.